Imagine a night in 722 BCE. Assyrian swords gleam under a blood-red moon, and 10 tribes of Israel vanish into smoke. History whispers they're lost, devoured by time. But what if they didn't fade? What if they fled, their blood and secrets smuggled across deserts and seas, echoing through centuries? This isn't the tale of a dead nation. It's the saga of survivors who turned exile into a shadow empire, their legacy carved into kings, priests, and unseen hands that grip the world today. From Judah's lion-crowned heirs to Dan's serpent-eyed wanderers, the 12 tribes didn't just endure, they infiltrated everything. Empires hunted them. Temples buried their truth. Yet their pulse beats in crowns, cathedrals, and conspiracies right now. This is the story of a people who defied oblivion, and it's about to unravel before your eyes, revealing secrets that might awaken something in your own soul. Chapter 1. The Birth of the 12. It begins with a man named Jacob, a wanderer wrestling angels in the desert, renamed Israel, he who strives with God. By Genesis, he fathers 12 sons, each a spark of something greater. These aren't just kids, they're the seeds of tribes, each with a destiny etched in prophecy. Reuben, the firstborn, wild as storm-tossed waves. Simeon, fierce with a warrior's wrath. Levi, anointed to guard sacred flames. Judah, the lion whose roar promises kings. Dan, a serpent coiled with cunning. Naphtali, a stag leaping free. Zebulun, lord of the seas. Issachar, keeper of starlit wisdom. Asher, blessed with golden fields. Gad, a fighter forged in blood. Joseph, the dreamer whose visions pierce time. Benjamin, the wolf tearing through shadows. Under Moses, these tribes forge a nation, a covenant sealed at Sinai, their camp a living mandala around the Ark of the Covenant. By Solomon's reign, around 970 BCE, they're a golden empire, their temple a beacon of divine order. Each tribe has a role. Levi chants psalms, Zebulun sails trade routes, Judah wears the crown. They're not just a people, they're a blueprint, 12 facets of humanity reflecting something cosmic, like 12 notes in a divine hymn. But paradise doesn't last. Solomon dies, the kingdom splits, north versus south, 10 tribes against 2, and the stage is set for a fall that will echo through millennia. Chapter 2. The Night of Shattering. Fast forward to 722 BCE. The northern kingdom, home to Reuben, Simeon, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Ephraim, and Manasseh, faces the Assyrian war machine. Cities burn. Temples crumble. Families are torn apart, marched into chains, or scattered to the winds. History calls this the exile of the 10 tribes. Judah and Benjamin cling to the south, their remnant birthing the Jewish nation we know. But the 10? They're dubbed lost, their names fading into dusty scrolls. Picture it. A Danite captain steers his ship into the Black Sea, clutching a serpent-carved amulet, vowing to survive. A Levite priest hides scrolls in a cave, his hands trembling as Assyrian horns blare. A Judahite elder swears an oath, his bloodline will endure no matter the cost. The official story says they melted into foreign lands, Assyria, Babylon, oblivion. But what if that's a lie? What if the tribes didn't dissolve but escaped, carrying their secrets like embers through a storm? The Assyrians didn't just want land, they wanted to erase a legacy. They failed. Because those embers didn't die, they ignited a hidden fire. Chapter 3. The Great Dispersal. The trail begins in exile. Assyrian records, the Samaria Ostraca, hint at Hebrew captives resettled across their empire, from Media to the Caspian shores. But some didn't stay captive. Legends bloom. Danite sailors ride the Mediterranean, their serpent banners fluttering as they dock in Greece, naming cities like Danaan. Zebulun's traders slip into Phoenician ports, their ships whispering of a lost homeland. Joseph's sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, trek north, their dreams guiding them to Scythian steppes. By 586 BCE, Babylon sacks Judah, scattering even more. Yet the tribes don't vanish, they adapt. In Central Asia, Pashtun elders still sing of descent from Israel, their tribal names, Malik, Yusufzai, echoing Hebrew roots. Ethiopian lore claims Menelik III, son of Solomon and Sheba, carried Judah's seed to Axum, the ark in tow. Across the sea, Japanese Shinto priests trace their rites to a Canaanite exodus, their torii gates mirroring Israel's altars. Even in the Americas, Cherokee tales of a star-led migration hint at ancient crossings, pre-Columbus, pre-Vikings. This isn't random, it's a global weaving. The tribes didn't just survive, they planted their essence in every corner. Empires rose, Persia, Greece, Rome, and each bore marks of the 12, Judah's lion in royal crests, Levi's rites in mystery cults, Issachar's stars in Chaldean skies. Were they fleeing? Or were they seeding something greater, a legacy too vast to erase? Chapter 4. The shadows take root. Centuries pass, and the tribes fade from sight, but not from power. In medieval shadows, their heirs emerge as phantoms. Picture a Danite wanderer, now a hooded figure in Ireland, whispering serpent lore to the Tuatha De Danann. God kings who vanish into myth but leave stone circles behind. In Jerusalem, Judah's royal exiles plot in exile, their blood mingling with Persian nobles, then Irish kings, claiming David's line endures. Levi's priests, stripped of their temple, become scribes and mystics, their sacred codes hidden in scrolls the church would later burn. The Middle Ages ignite with intrigue. The Knights Templar rise in 11 and 19, guarding secrets from Solomon's temple, Judah's lineage, Levi's rites. Before fleeing to Scotland, their red cross a tribal echo. The Merovingians, Frankish kings, whisper of descent from Jesus, Judah's heir, their long hair a mark of divine favor until the church betrays them. In Venice, Zebulun's trade legacy thrives, merchants funding crusades with ancient wealth. Meanwhile, Dan's shadow slithers into Masonic lodges, the serpent, the compass, symbols of a tribe that never knelt. Empires didn't just stumble over these secrets, they hunted them. The Catholic Church brands the tribe's wisdom heresy, torching Gnostic texts that hint at their survival. The Inquisition chases alchemists who dare decode Levi's geometry. Kings fear Judah's blood in rival dynasties. Yet the tribes endure, not as nations, but as veins of influence, pulsing through history's underbelly. Were they victims or architects? Chapter 5. The Crown of Today. Now leap to the present. The tribe's legacy isn't in ruins, it's in thrones and towers. The British monarchy crowns itself with Judah's lineage, their stone of scone tied to Jacob's pillow, their lineage traced to Zerah through Irish kings. The Rothschilds, banking titans, wield Judah's lion in finance. Rumors swirl they guard Davidic blood, their wealth a modern scepter. The Vatican, a fortress of Levi's priestly echo, hoards manuscripts in its vaults. Some say the Corpus Hermeticum, others the tribe's lost prophecies. Look deeper. Freemasonry builds temples to Solomon, their 33 degrees a ladder of tribal codes. Judah's crown, Levi's altar, Dan's shadow. Tech dynasties, think Silicon Valley's visionaries, mirror Joseph's dreams, shaping reality with algorithms. Secret conclaves like Bilderberg or Skull and Bones allegedly channel Issachar's foresight, plotting in oak-paneled rooms. The dollar bill's pyramid, the UN's 12 laurels, symbols scream the tribe's presence. Here's the twist. These elites don't just stumble into power, they inherit it. What if the tribe's heirs, kings, bankers, priests, formed a shadow council centuries ago, swearing to guard their legacy? What if the church, monarchs, and corporations aren't rivals but puppets of a deeper order, one that knows the tribes never died? They don't rule with armies. They rule with blood and secrets, a game played since Assyria's fall. But the board is shifting. Chapter 6. The Awakening Beneath. Ezekiel dreamed it. 12 tribes reunited, a nation reborn. Revelation paints it in fire. 12 gates, 12 seals. History buried them. Elites stole their codes. But the story isn't over. The tribes aren't returning in ships. They're rising in us. Picture this. A coder in Berlin, driven by Dan's cunning, cracks a system meant to bind him. A poet in Mumbai, Naphtali's spirit pens words that free minds. A banker in London, Judah's echo, questions the wealth he wields. These aren't coincidences, they're sparks. The tribe's traits, Levi's sanctity, Joseph's vision, Gad's defiance, aren't locked in DNA. They're in the human soul, waiting to ignite. The system, empires, churches, algorithms, fears this. For centuries, they've burned books, crowned puppets, built cages to keep the tribes dormant. But cracks form. Whistleblowers leak truths. Mystics decode symbols. People feel a pull. Reuben's passion, Simeon's fire, Benjamin's howl. It's not about ancestry. It's about resonance. You don't need a blood test to hear the call. You need a heartbeat. The elites clutch their stolen crowns, but the tribe's legacy isn't theirs to hoard. It's ours, to reclaim, to wield, to reshape. This isn't just history. It's a reckoning. The 12 tribes didn't vanish. They hid in plain sight, their blood singing through time. And now, as the world trembles, their story asks, which tribe burns in you? The answer isn't out there. It's inside, waiting to break free.